Peter Rasey, Legacy of Expo 88 YouTube channel, and this is a podcast on the history of what is now known as the Big Clown from Expo 88. And what you're looking at is the very first photo after I picked up the sculpture from Marilyn Stedland of Wynnum on the 21st of March 2018. But what you're going to hear next is the Lord Mayor, Graham Quirk of the day, talk about his passion which drove all the efforts to save and to have on display these Artbuster pieces.
Graham, I know now that you're really excited about this art trail and the idea of having even more pieces from Expo reinvigorated, reinstated, and a reminder not just to those of us who have the memories ourselves, but to pass it on to the generation below who didn't get to go to Expo but understand what it meant for our city's history.
Well, absolutely. There's little Expo reminders all over the place, and perhaps a lot of people don't realise that's what they are. So the Queen Street Mall, for example, up towards the George Street end, you've got Gestation sitting there. You've got the Man of Matter series. You've got Showdown, which has just been relocated about a week ago now to Gregory Terrace. So if you're driving along Gregory Terrace now, you'll see that one. And the one that I really loved was, I noticed that John Truscott did a forward for this, was the John Underwood series called The Human Factor. Now this was a series of figurines, if you like, done in fiberglass originally. And what we're doing, and I again have to thank Peter Rasey for this, he's done all of the investigatory work in finding where these pieces are, because they've gone to the Four Winds. There was a series of about 90 pieces, I think, in all. We've recovered nearly 20, we're up to about 18, and we're getting them recast in aluminium so that they will have a long life. We're going repositioning them. Just about 2 weeks ago, the latest piece, which we nicknamed the Butterfly Catchers, have been stationed out at Mount Cootha Botanic Gardens, just near the lake. There's other pieces in King George Square, near the King George Square car park. So there will be a range of these series that will be popping up to remind us. Now, they are not what you would, most sort of experts or critiques would say is top quality art. But I have a view that they are what I love, which is human scale art. And you know, the number of selfies that will be had with these pieces around the city by visitors to our city, I think will be enormous.
And enormous it has proven to be as we look at Gestation and my then two much younger children, Nathan and Isabella, and it's really a tribute to the efforts of Graham that the World Expo 88 Art Trail is such a success. But let's move on. So at this stage of the podcast, it's worth reflecting on how we arrived at a situation that the council was hunting down Artbuster works, and it came about because the Brisbane City Council found in a railway carriage at Roma Street Parklands a whole series that you can see here of Artbuster pieces. These weren't, however, from Expo 88. However, that discovery wasn't made for several months after the council embarked upon recasting some of these, the first of which was unveiled by Sir Lou Edwards in one of his last public appearances. And the effort to discover the Artbuster pieces led me to Spring Hill, where there were about another 33 odd Artbuster pieces, but these weren't from World Expo 88. They were actually from Darling Harbour, from a failed exhibit down there, which had meant that the pieces had ended up back at Spring Hill. And they were really very sadly treated and in a poor state of disrepair. And what you're looking at currently is one of the ones that had been found in the railway carriage that ended up being restored by me and then delivered for conservation to the Caboolture Historical Village. However, the clown bending over backwards first made its way into the custodialship of the Brisbane City Council. However, budget considerations and really artistic designs meant that it couldn't find a satisfactory home within the Brisbane City Council's portfolio of Artbuster pieces as they formed a part of the World Expo 88 art trail. And so that's how the piece found its way to the Kingaroy Museum. So we'll need a little bit of TLC.
Yeah.
I think at this point it's worthwhile looking at where these clowns, of which the clown bending over backwards was located at Expo 88, and it was actually in the piazza, and it had about another 8 or 9 companions, and they were placed in the piazza to entertain people. And there's another piece that the Brisbane City Council currently owns called the Sad Clown, and it was located on one of the entrances into the piazza, and it was sad because it wasn't performing with the other clowns. But let's now just have a quick look at the starring role that the clown bending over backwards played in the 30th anniversary of Expo 88 in this magazine expose on the anniversary. So, as you can see, the big clown, or the clown bending over backwards, played a pivotal role in grabbing people's attention during the 30th anniversary of Expo 88. And to keep your interest, we're now going to hear from Danita Potter as the clown was unwrapped at the South Burnett Regional Council's Kingaroy Museum as part of the journey over the last few years has been into the South Burnett Regional Council's control.
So we're having the Artbusters statue from Expo 88 unveiled here at the Kingaroy Visitor Information Centre. So this particular piece was hanging above the piazza at World Expo 88, and it was falling off a plank. I think it was called Trouble on the Plank. So there were 2 other clowns falling off one side, which was toppling this guy on the other. So he's in a real action pose, falling backwards. Probably the most motion in any one of these Artbuster statues. And there were 88 of these statues, so this is one of the 88.
Quite incredible.
What I think incredible, Peter, is how I don't know if you got it yet. It's a very fragile thing.
It is fragile, you can actually see. See, they were only really a few millimetres thick, fiberglass, and they were moulded on real people. So there were people at that art studio who could sit there and have fiberglass put on their faces.
Yeah, I think. So we'll need a little bit of TLC.
Yeah.
But it will
But if
be.
it's up out of reach too,
Yeah.
you don't want to go too crazy with that, because then you can actually change the form a bit too much,
So you're happy with that, Danita?
Yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it?
I knew you'd be happy.
I can picture this sort of hanging from a trapeze inside the Visitor Information
Yeah,
Centre.
suspended. And
If I get my way.
Then there's a really high roof in there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there is.
That's why I'm thinking of a trapeze.
Yep.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Awesome, but not to be. The budget interfered with the vision, and so the restoration and recasting in the fullness of time was a dead end at the South Burnett Regional Council. A shame, but it lived on. The next step in relation to the restoration and storage of clown bending over backwards, because tomorrow it goes into the Yarraman Heritage Centre. Today I have to do a little bit more bogging. Okay, so this is the next part of it, getting in the back of the truck. Thank you, Neville. Thank you, Shane. Really great effort. Amazing. I've never seen the look on that face before because I've never had it above me. So we've now come inside. Great effort by the Blackbutt Masonic Lodge. Thanks, Shane. Thanks, Nick. Nick's here for a second time, actually. He helped under the guise of lions move the mural in, which we're going to have a look at in a second. I was meant to film the relocation, but this ended up being a real juggle to get this thing in here. Anyway, great effort, guys. Shane, what do you think?
It's pretty impressive. I know I've seen them a very long time ago in 1988, but I don't really remember them. I do know I've seen them, but certainly it's fascinating to see them here like this. We've got the upper level dignitaries, we've got the common man, we've got thousands of tiles here. If you had or made a look at them, you're sure to see someone you know, someone's name that you know, and they really come from all over the world. It's most impressive, and I'm impressed personally that these things have been preserved.
Thank you.
Yes, I have. And thanks, John. Looking at this side of the room, you've got Western Australia, South Australia, you've got people from Queensland, from Buderim, coming down here. You're looking at Townsville, you're looking at Brisbane, Corinda. Going up here, you can see New South Wales, Rockhampton. I even saw Gladstone over there, where I've come from. It's just amazing the amount of people who actually attended Expo. It's just unbelievable.
And so you're right there. It's really interesting, that full cabinet.
Yes, and this is the cabinet, the MLA minister at that time. So Expo 88 was certainly a very big thing.
Thanks.
Looking over here also, where if you look where Judy, just over there, Judy, that one there, you actually had the radio stations. You had 4KQ, you had 4BC, 4KQ, 4BH.
4QR?
Yeah, 4QR, 4BH, 4BC. They actually were the major radio stations in those days. They were the leaders in Brisbane. But amazing. Judy, anything there you see?
No, but I'm going to move over to this section here, because this over here, about the Girl Guides.
Oh.
Now, Peter, you won't know this, and ladies and gents, you won't know this either, but I was a Girl Guide. And I was a Girl Guide growing up in Dalby. I was a Brownie and then a Girl Guide, and I was also a Queen's Guide. So, seeing this, I'm very proud to see, as an ex-Girl Guide, but they say once a Girl Guide, always a Girl Guide, that what they have done with this mural and how they have been, how they have represented themselves in amongst this as well.
Isn't it amazing that it's... And so, as you can gather, the journey of what I commonly refer to as clown bending over backwards, but Jason more correctly identified as clown on a plank, and as has now been settled upon its forever name, the Big Clown from Expo 88, its journey at the end of the 35th anniversary celebrations of Expo 88 saw the clown journey from the Yarraman Heritage Village to the 55 million years ago museum. And the picture shows the secretary and manager, Leo Gerety, and the forever helpful Nick from Masons and Lions of Blackbutt Banarkin, standing with the clown on the back of the ute just prior to it being unloaded and then left in the care of Leo, who then set about restoring it and acquiring special pallets and movable wheels to go underneath the pallets to make a proper display unit. And it's worked really well. And so in conclusion, let's just thank Leo more formally for his efforts. So, Leo, you've done an amazing job. Full marks to you. Absolutely incredible. Great location. Hopefully there'll be hundreds of selfies taken, which will promote 55 million years. The name's right. the big clown from Expo 88. Absolutely incredible.